Hi boys and girls, Grandma Orange here. We are going to read the story on 10 ways to be perfect today. I've been thinking about that, 10 ways to be perfect. Wonder what they would be. Moses and the 10 Commandments found in the Bible in the book of Exodus. So, there they were, grannies, granddads, babies, uncles, aunts, children, moms, dads. They were all out in the middle of the desert. Okay, we have crossed over the sea. Remember, we had to part the waters, cross over so that the soldiers didn't get us, and then the soldiers died and God's people made it across. Well, now they're in the desert, all of them, in the middle. And they had blisters from all the walking, and they were hungry, and they were thirsty, and much too hot. We don't like it, they said. It stinks. And so did they, for that matter, because no one had taken a bath in weeks. Now remember, because this is something they've forgotten, God had done amazing things for his people. He'd hidden them inside of a cloud. He moved the sea. He'd set them free. But God's people, well, they're kind of like us, children. They weren't happy. They didn't care about being free. Wasn't it better when they were slaves? At least they had lots of nice food to eat. God doesn't want us to be happy, they said. It was the same lie that Adam and Eve heard all those years before. Remember back in the garden when the snake came and whispered the lies to them? God has brought us out here in the desert to kill us. God doesn't love us. But they didn't know God very well, did they? So every day of their journey, God kept on showing his people how well he would look after them if they would trust him and obey. When they were hungry, God made the sky rain with food, bread, coming down from heaven. What is this? They asked each other. They didn't know, so they called it, what is it? Which, of course, is a very good name for something when you don't know what it is. When they were thirsty and started quarreling, God made water flow from a rock. Look at that, a water fountain. Moses called that place quarreling because that seemed like a good name too. They were complaining. They were hungry. Now they were thirsty. Still, God's children didn't trust him or do what he said. They thought they could do a better job of looking after themselves and making themselves happy. But God knew there was no such thing as happiness without him. So God led them to a tall mountain. God wanted to talk to his people and show them what he was like. He wanted to help them know him better and tell them about the special land that he was going to give them. The whole earth, God said, belongs to me, but I have chosen you as my special family. I want you to live in a way that shows everyone else what I'm like, so they can know me too. God called Moses up the mountain. See him way up there on the top? So, the great mountain shook. There was a thick cloud that fell. Thunder roared and lightning crackled, and God gave Moses 10 rules called commandments. I want you to love me more than anything else in the world. And I want you to know that I love you too, God told him. That's the most important thing of all. God gave them other rules, like don't make yourself pretend gods, don't kill people, don't steal, don't lie. The rules, the 10 rules, showed God's people how to live and how to be close to him and how to be happy. They showed how life worked best. God promises to always look after you, Moses said. Will you love him and keep these rules? We can do it. Yes, We promise. But they were wrong. They couldn't do it, no matter how hard they tried. They could never keep God's rules all the time. God knew they couldn't, and he wanted them to know, too. Only one person could keep all the rules, and many years later, God would send that one to stand in their place and be perfect for them. Because the rules couldn't save them. Only God could save them. You know, boys and girls, every story he's talking about a rescuer that's coming. In the Old Testament, we hear what God is doing. When we get to the New Testament, we hear about who that rescuer is. But we're going to stick to the Old Testament for a little bit. Next week, we're going to be talking about a warrior leader, and we're moving into the third book in the Bible, Joshua. You have a good week. Listen to your mom and dad. Be obedient. Be good. See you next week.
Commandments. That's a lot to remember, isn't it? That's a lot to remember. And that was good. That was really good that God gave those commandments to Moses so that the people would know what God expected of them. But Jesus, when he was asked about the commandments, do you know what he said? He said there's two that if you do them, it kind of takes care of all the rest of them, all the other 8. And if you do the first one, which is you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. If you do that one, you probably won't want to lie, steal, kill, and cheat, and all the other stuff that we're not supposed to do that the other commandments talk about. And then Jesus said, and the second one is kind of like that. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one God. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your soul. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your mind. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. So Jesus said, hear, O Israel. Listen, Israel. But when we sing this again, I would like you to say your own name because Jesus is saying, listen. So sing like, hear, O Logan, or hear, O Olivia. Okay? But you say your name and I'm going to say mine. Ready? Hear, O Tamie, the Lord your God is one God. And I will love the Lord my God with all of my heart. I will love the Lord my God with all of my soul. I will love the Lord my God with all of my mind. I will love the Lord my God with all of my strength. And love your neighbor. That means your brothers and your sisters and your mom and your dad and your grandma and your grandpa and your friends and your cousins. Did I say your granny and your grandpa? and your aunts and your uncles and everybody else. Huh? That's your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself.